Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Streaming Enderman here, back again with another video. And in today's video, I will be taking a look at something incredibly special, for me at least. This is the GEC number 68 Northfield White Owl. Now, to most, this may just be, another GEC. Nothing too exemplary there. But for me, this is my very first Great Eastern Cutlery, and I've been trying to get one of these things for years. Pretty much ever since I discovered traditional knives and learned about this brand, I've been looking for one. To no avail, of course. And maybe not years, but easily a year. Well over. Anyways, I have been trying to find a GEC that I've been looking for, and it was the 38 English Whittler, and I found one. But it was quite overpriced, so I didn't get it. This one I won in an auction on eBay. And I actually got it for a pretty reasonable price, almost the original price at a store if you were to buy it new. And it's in new condition, so I just essentially paid a little bit extra, but I got the original store price, just a tad bit more. But, sorry, allergies today. Yeah, this is the package it comes in, and I was very surprised. I thought it would be bigger, but, very small little tube package. It just says Northfield Unexcelled, White Owl. Got this nice little picture here. Premium pocket knives, 1095 carbon steel. And then you've got their information, their address if you want to pop into the factory store, the unit number, the phone number, and the website. And this is the 68 pattern with a clip point blade, 2 blades, and this was made in 2021 with Cowhide Jigged Bone. Now, I have already opened this. I have already looked at the knife. I just wanted to show you what to expect if you're getting a GEC for the first time like myself. It just has a little pin. I really like it when GEC does this with the little buttons. It says White Owl 68, and I guess the owl's name is Howard. As an owl lover, this is a snowy owl, by the way. Comes wrapped in this beautiful wax paper, which is the nicest wax paper any knife I own has been wrapped in, nicer than even an otter messer. Love the classic wax paper that these come in. Everything about how these are packed just feels so nice and old school. I love them. So, here it is, my very first Great Eastern Cutlery knife. The White Owl in Cowhide Jigged Bone. Now this is an equal end pen knife with a clip point and small spear point, also known as a pen blade. You've got pinched and cut. I believe this is called a... Is this a saw cut? No, I don't believe it is. I do know, however, that this is called a pinched bolster. So we've got pinched nickel-silver bolsters, brass liners, a single beefy steel spring, brass pins, and we've got a shield, a very long shield that says White Owl. Not a typical shield. Most shields on pocket knives are more rounded, like the one on this knife, which I brought out for comparison. This is the Case Half Whittler. It is also a equal end clip and pen blade knife, but again, you see Case XX USA. This is a far smaller shield than the White Owl one. Aside from that, we've got some very nice jigged bone handles here. And I really like the jig bone. This is also available in Sambar Stag, but I went for this one for a couple reasons. A, this one's easier to find. B, it's cheaper. C, it has the unique shield that I like. The Sambar Stag one doesn't. And lastly, the Sambar Stag is just natural stag, but this is actually jigged in a way to look like a feather. I don't know if you can pick this up, but you can see the outer edge with the white, and then this brown in the center with these almost black specks. This looks very similar to what an actual barn owl feather would look like. And for reference, this is a barn owl. So you can see there is a similar coloration in the handles here. So they were going with a very specific look with this particular knife. And I quite like that. I like the very natural look of this, and it does indeed invoke the I guess the style of a feather, and I very much like that. But enough talking about the handle itself. Let's talk about the blades. So we've got a French nail nick here, which opens up to a very nice clip point 1095 carbon blade. This is mirror polished. Let me get the fingerprints off, because I know how ugly having streaks and fingerprints on a blade can be. There you go. Gorgeous, gorgeous mirror polish. It says trademark Northfield Unexcelled. That's their logo. On this side, we actually have a little stamp with that same owl named Howard. Don't know if you can actually see on the blade, but it does say Howard, just like with the pin. So very neat little thing there. I guess you could add Howard to GEC's, I guess you could consider him a bit of a mascot, which is an interesting idea. I've always said, kind of unrelated, but Jack Wolf Knives, having Jack Wolf as the mascot is brilliant in my mind. I think having a mascot on a knife is a very good idea. You often see mascots on cereals and, car dealerships, but you never see a mascot on a knife. So seeing that on the Jack Wolf knife was a very neat change. So if GEC is going to start doing that, where they've got, Howard the Owl as their mascot for the 68 White Owl, I think that's a great idea. Just adds an extra layer of fun to knife collecting when you've got your little mascots. Let's just set that there. But yeah, we've got a very nice clip point blade here. This is definitely UK legal. I love the swedge. So sleek. And actually, the nail nick is in the way on this side, so it's only swedged at the front. You can see most of this side is swedged. Very, very unique. Now it's got the little number here, again. So if you buy this without the box or tube, it does still say the model number. So 68 pattern, 1 stands for clip point for the blade, 2 blades, and 21 for 2021 year of manufacture. Beautiful, beautiful clip point. Very nice transition here. By the way, I don't know if you already saw this, but there is no gapping here whatsoever. These things really are, they live up to their reputation. Perfect transitions, mind you. Very, very smooth. And that's for jigged bone, which says something. We've got a very, very nice pen blade with a nice sharpening choil. It says GEC carbon. Nothing on this side. And again, this is on one spring, which it makes this knife very slim in its profile. It's a very nice, sleek knife you just want to put in the pocket. The other 68 they released alongside this, the Pony Jack, was the exact same knife, pretty much, just with a different material for the handle, Cocobolo. And then instead of the polished nickel silver, you got brushed stainless steel, so a little less shiny and fancy. And instead of mirror polished blades, you get satin finish blades. And the difference was it was a clip point and pen blade, these exact two, on one pivot, which makes it a jackknife, Pony Jack, versus the White Owl has 2 blades, clip point and pen, on different sides, which therefore makes this a pen knife. So you got a 68 jackknife and a 68 pen knife. The pen knife has 1 spring and a clip and pen blade on equal sides, on both sides, I should say, and the jackknife has 2 blades, clip point and pen, on one side and 2 springs, which makes it a beefier knife overall. But I like the slimness of the pen knife. Personally, that's my pick. Speaking of pen knife, I'll compare it to the Case Half Whittler, which is the closest comparison I can give, because I don't have any other Great Eastern cutleries. Very similar. We've got bone, different bone. This is smooth bone, while this is jigged bone. Nickel silver bolsters on both, brass pins on both, brass liners on both. This one does have 2 springs, while this one has 1. And unlike the GEC, yeah, case is a little iffy on their quality. Don't know if you can see this, but there's actually a crack running through this bolster here, and it goes all the way through that pin, that one brass pin, and it stops right here before the shield. I don't know if the camera can pick it up very well, but there is a crack running through that bolster. There you go. That's the most clear you can see. It goes all the way from the bolster to the shield. So between that and the shield just flat out falling out, it's kind of easy to see why GEC is the better value of the two. I still like Case for their style, but GEC is vastly superior. You can see the difference in the blades too. Both are mirror polished carbon steel blades though, so there are similarities here. However, this clip point is much simpler. Well, this one has the nice swedging. I prefer that overall. Just put that aside. And the pen blade on this one is a bit broader than the pen blade on the half whittler. And again, this one has a slight, I guess, what would you call this, like a hump right here? Well, this is a perfectly smooth, clean back on the 68. But enough talking about the case. This knife already had a video. We're talking about this. So, what exactly are my thoughts on this knife? Well, the fit and finish, outstanding. Shield, flush. Pins, flush. Bolster transition, excellent. Gapping, non-existent. Pull weight, probably about a 5 or a 6. There's a tiny, tiny little bit of blade play. Ever so slight. It's not even that bad by my standards, and I complain a lot about even the slightest bit of blade play. But it's just ever so slight there. Blade wrap? Probably not, because I don't know if you can see this, but this part right here, the unsharpened bit, will hit the bottom of the knife before the blade has the chance to, which essentially eliminates blade wrap. If this is hitting before this can, it stops it from reaching the back of the spring and chipping. But I'll still probably walk the blade down just to be safe. This one definitely won't get blade wrap. You can see how much that sticks out. That's going to hit the spring way before the blade could ever have a chance to. This is absolutely not going to get blade wrap. And this one is as stiff as a tank. Very, very solid. Again, these are mirror polished 1095 blades. I've never had a 1095 carbon steel knife before, so this is another first for me. And I've heard a lot of very positive things about GEC's steel. It's a very good basic steel, kind of like a user steel. It's not as much one of the premium, you know, M390s or S45VNs, but I've heard it's comparable. It's a carbon equivalent of Buck's 420HC. It doesn't hold its edge as long as some, but it sharpens up very easily, and it gets very sharp very fast. By the way, this is a knife I picked up the other day, and I'm extremely happy with it. This review will be coming pretty soon. Hopefully it won't be too long, but this will be coming after the White Owl. I wanted to get this one out first because I'm just so excited about this one. Again, you may make fun of me all you want. You have the right to make fun of me in the comments if you have had GECs before. You can say this isn't even the best GEC. You can say, oh, there are way better knives out there. I've got a dozen of those. Whatever. I really don't care. This is my first GEC. I'm very excited for it. And I really don't care what anyone else says. If you say this is a bad knife, that's fine. You don't need to like it. But I really like this knife. And for me, that's kind of all that matters, because it's my first GEC, and I've always wanted one of these. So, yeah, I am incredibly impressed with this knife. Again, GEC, great little company. They seem to be somehow keeping up with all the demand. And I say this hesitantly because we all know how GEC works. They drop a batch of knives at a store and then they're sold out within 10 minutes. Yes, that happens. And I don't like the secondary market for putting stuff on eBay for 4 times the price. Thankfully, I was lucky enough to get this one for a very reasonable price. But I know other people are not so fortunate. But again, I don't like the secondary market, but I like the company. So if I'm going to be mad at anyone, I'll be mad at the people who swindle and, buy up the whole batch in one quick swoop and resell everything for absolutely outrageous prices. Those are the people I'm not so keen on, but the brand itself, I absolutely love. I've been looking at GECs for so long. I'm invested in their patterns, and I probably have a decent amount of knowledge on their knives, even though I've hardly, I only own one, and yet I feel like I've been very invested in the company, researching them, watching videos on them, learning more about them and their passion for making these absolutely beautiful knives. So, if anyone from Great Eastern Cutlery is watching this, more power to you. You're doing great. The fact that you've caused this much unrest in the knife community is honestly a good thing, because bad knives don't sell, and they don't cause a ruckus because no one's looking for them. But, as much as I don't like the whole secondary market, swindling and everything, GEC is still doing very well. They are making amazing knives every time. I'd take any GEC that got released, really, whether it's the Bayo Trapper, the Lick Creek Barlow, the Toenail Clipper. What other ones did they release recently? Pony Jack. Really, I don't care. I just love this brand, and if I can snag another one of these in the future, I will absolutely do so. Does this mean I'm not going to get the 38 English Whittler? No, I am still going to look for that knife. It's just that this one showed up at a very nice price, and I figured I'd go and put a bid and try and get it, and I got it. So I'm very happy to see the success of Great Eastern Cutlery. I think they've earned it. Their knives are simply beautiful. They're well made. They're just beautifully done, and they just scream American quality craftsmanship. This is what I want to see from America. I'm not American. I am from Canada. We've got like 1, maybe 2 little knife making factories still. One is Groman, and they make traditional knives, mostly fixed blades. I believe we have a fixed blade company and a few custom makers here and there, but really, you don't see Canadian-made knives, really, ever. And I've always considered, and I'm sure a lot of people agree, Canada and the US have always had somewhat of similar, not necessarily cultures, but in their stylization for certain things, they have similarities, and traditional Canadian knives, say from Groman, have a similar feel to a knife from the USA, compared to, say, Germany or Italy. And, again, seeing this quality craftsmanship, I can feel patriotic and proud of, even though I'm not even from the USA. I'm sure many people can agree. Case, I think Case can do better. I really think that they could do a little bit better. Their knives look nice, but GEC knives look nice and feel nice and are made nice. Case knives look nice, feel nice, and they're, well, some of them just are a little second-rate. But in the meantime, beautiful craftsmanship, tiny bit of blade wobble. That's the only flaw I can really find, and even then, everything about it's just lovely. The color of this bone, how it looks like a feather, the flush spring, the beautiful blades, stamping, even the packaging, everything about this knife is just simply classy, and I just love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm definitely going to be looking for more GECs in the future. If you have any recommendation for where to find them or any suggestions for how to get them, please comment below. If you enjoyed watching this video, and if you enjoy this knife, let me know. I'd like to hear some feedback, maybe hear what you think of this knife. Again, I'd be very happy to respond to any comments you may have. And just overall, this was such an amazing little knife. I think this'll... I can't decide whether I want to carry it. It just screams, put me in your pocket and carry me. But at the same time, I don't want to carry it because it feels too special to want to really carry. It's my one and only GEC, and I don't want to get it scratched. But, you know, I'll have to make up my mind on that eventually. However, there is a knife that I'm definitely not worried about getting scratched up. You'll, again, stay tuned for a review on this absolute tank of a knife. These two are so different. Carbon steel, stainless steel. Nickel silver, brass. Bone, wood. Mirror polish blades, satin finish blades. Slip joint, lockback. 2 blades, 1 blade. Small, light use, traditional, hard use locking folder. Yeah, this is a beast of a knife, and I can't wait to make a video on this knife. Really, really impressed with this. This is Bucks. This is one of the best things they've produced. But that's a whole other video. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. This has been the Great Eastern Cutlery 38. If I did outtakes, that would go straight to the outtakes. The GEC 68 White Owl by Northfield in Cowhide Jigged Bone and 1095 carbon steel. Thank you very much for watching. And again, this is the Streaming Enderman, as always, signing off. Goodbye.